Hello, everyone. This is Susan Damiani, Director of Gift Planning at St. John's University. And today for our hello video, I have the distinct pleasure of being with Dr. Jonathan Scheiman. Am I saying your last name correctly, Jonathan?
That's amazing. Perfect.
Really? Okay, great.
Absolutely.
And we have you down as a graduate of 2003 from St. John's College, majoring in biology. So is everyone ready for these credentials? Because they're going to blow you away. Okay. So not only did Jonathan major in biology, but he's also a former Red Storm guard. In his freshman year, they won the Big East Conference. He went on to get his graduate degree at NYU and then went on to earning his doctorate at the Harvard Medical School, where he was a research fellow at the, how do you say that? The Weiss or Weiss?
The Weiss, yeah.
The Weiss, yeah. The Weiss Institute for Biological Inspired Engineers. Also, his high school diploma is from the wonderful LaGuardia High School of Music and Arts and Performing Arts, where he played the tuba. He was raised in Greenwich Village, which is a cool place. And now you're the founder and CEO of FitBiomics, which is a startup biotech company. You've accomplished so much in such a short time. I have told you this before, but and I will say it here on the call, but as an alumna of St. John's University, I'm so proud of you, Jonathan. Such many accomplishments and so multi-talented with music and science and sports, and you continue to flourish in everything that you do. So it's nice that you appreciate your God-given talents. So tell the audience now, I think you say you're living now, we should say we're hello from where? Harlem, New York, where you're living, right?
Harlem, New York, yeah.
Another great place, I love Harlem. Lots of jazz music, right? There's great jazz clubs in Harlem. So tell us now what, with all those accomplishments and now you have the startup, what are you doing now? And how's your company flourishing?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me on. I think it's always great to come back home and, interact with the St. John's community and New York's team. But yeah, I think for me personally, as you mentioned, first and foremost, I'm a New Yorker. So everything you mentioned, I think it's just kind of like a New York story and all the opportunities that are presented in this, in the city. But yeah, I finished my postdoc in Harvard back in spring 2018. And then for me, it was important to move back home and take my learnings and sort of our discoveries and our intellectual property and sort of now bring them home to New York to sort of launch our company, FitBiomics. And really, for us, it's about sort of translating technology into next generation probiotics that could benefit human health and wellness, and really sort of go back to my roots in athletics and science and create sort of a new frontier of nutrition that could benefit the masses.
It's terrific. It's fun to see how everything all comes together, right? And your experiences brought you, to this place. Why did you choose St. John's? What brought you to St. John's University?
Yeah, I guess it's so funny because it's been a long journey, and maybe now I'm sort of like a scientist and an entrepreneur, but really I was a city kid and I had hoop dreams, I had basketball dreams. And honestly, when I was younger, I wanted to play in the NBA or play professional basketball. And I was sure that's what I was going to do. And I think for me, growing up in the 80s and 90s and just an affinity to St. John's program, all the games at Madison Square Garden. So I think for me, it was really important to stay home, stay in New York and be a part of such a great program and having an opportunity to walk on and play basketball and be a part of some great teams. So I don't know, I guess staying home and just being a part of that tradition really appealed to me.
So you really did have the New York spirit in you. New York, you weren't going anywhere. New York, really was in your heart and your soul. And we're so glad that you came to St. John's. That's terrific.
Yeah,
What
I
about
mean,
the
anyone,
biology department? You know, they are studying
yeah,
biology and
yeah,
balancing it with sports. What is that like?
yeah, I think that, growing up, there's a lot of things I was exposed to in the village,
Mm-hmm.
definitely pop culture and arts, with Fame and going to Comic-Con. But also I think
Right.
I always went to a lot of museums and zoos. And so I was always interested in biology. I was interested in sort of just like wildlife, but also for me, I think just interested in sort of like genetic codes and how genetic codes can sort of like determine an organism's functionality and appearance. So I think biology was a natural fit for me. And then obviously honing those skills at St. John's led me to grad school.
Well, you mentioned that both your parents were PhDs. Is that correct? Was it
Yeah,
in the
I've been,
sciences? Is that
yeah,
was that their
I've
background?
Well, so my mom got her PhD in American literature, and she was, both a high school and a college professor. My dad got his PhD in operations research, and he was pretty much a math teacher and a computer science teacher, both in high school and college. And then my brother actually, he also played the tuba. I followed in his footsteps, and he actually was a math major and is now a math teacher both in high school and college. So I had a lot of teachers and a lot of smart people helping me,
Yes.
develop on the right path.
Smart family. Great genes.
Yeah, I'm the black sheep in the group. Everyone was teachers and all that stuff, and I turned into sort of a biotech entrepreneur.
Okay, wait, you're not finished yet. You never know down the road.
You never,
The
you never
teaching
know
might be
exactly,
there for you. You might close out your
exactly,
career as a teacher. I hope so. Because
exactly.
this company is so exciting that I'm sure you'll be able to teach young entrepreneurs. And
Yeah,
I'm sure St. John's would love for you to come and teach at our school. That would be
yeah,
terrific. But
yeah.
tell me, I know we were talking about it because if anyone's like been following these power hours that I'm doing, and the reason why we had you on, not only just to talk and reach out and connect with our graduates, especially as successful as you, but also it's the month of wellness that we're focusing
Mm,
on, and your company is really going to help people stay healthy. And I know when we were doing the test run, I was sharing with you about the gut bacteria and how I've been really looking into that because I feel, maybe if I focus on that a little bit more, it might help with my health, but still don't know enough about it. And I'm a little skeptical on some of the products out there that claim they have probiotics in it. And, then everybody always gets the word probiotics. It becomes a trendy word. Everybody's jumping on it. And, I was just having a talk with someone who's a nutritionist. And I said, oh, I hear pumpkin seeds are great, magnesium, they're great, da, 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 this and that. And his answer was, yeah, you can eat the pumpkin seeds, and then if you eat too much, it's eating too much nuts is not good for you. So, like, what's your response where people start getting on the bandwagon because they hear probiotics, it's like really good for you? How can you, clarify for us or educate us a little bit more on why has probiotics become so popular and sort of the trend in a lot of these marketable products?
Yeah, well, I think it's a number of things. One, I think our knowledge of our own bodies and biology and development and functionality continues to grow every day. Seemingly, and for instance, it's also sort of an amalgamation of sort of that knowledge, but also enabling technology that allows us to understand and learn more about what's going on. So, for instance, right now it's a common, I guess, sort of anecdote or fact, I should say, that we have as many bacterial cells in and on our body as we do human cells, and that's kind of like our human microbiome. Most of the
Mhm.
bacteria in and on our bodies reside in our gut. Um, so if you think about that, we have trillions of microorganisms in our gut that greatly influences everything in terms of our health, development, and functionality. These bacteria greatly influence and influenced by what we eat. They are involved in everything in terms of sort of digestion, energy metabolism, protein metabolism, even brain functionality, also immunology and inflammation. So the notion of bacteria sort of being tremendously involved in overall health is something that's an emerging field of science. So I think it's basically beneficial bacteria, which is another way of calling probiotics what they are. So I think it's an emergence of technology, knowledge, understanding, and then translating that into new functional foods that can improve human health. So I think there's a lot of exciting stuff, and we're just sort of scratching the surface of that.
It does. It sounds very exciting, and hopefully, it will continue. The research will continue because, like you said, they are finding really great things about it and how it can really help people. And I know you started with, athletes, right? High performers. Yeah. And now
Yep.
you're going to be going out to the general public with your products.
Yeah. So I think a lot of things, and this is going back to some of what inspired me to get into biology, I think sort of like genetic codes and blueprints and how that information can basically determine health and functionality. And I think, my background is in biomedicine. I got my PhD in molecular biology. I spent a lot of years on sort of doing basic cancer research. And I think biomedicine in general looks a lot at disease populations, and what we could do to correct that to improve health. I think another way of looking at it is, well, what if we look at super healthy people, super performers, superheroes? What is unique or enriched in them that drives optimal health, performance, and recovery? Can we decode that and then translate that to promote health in others? So for me, being a former athlete and being sort of a fan of the athlete community, we look at elite athletes essentially as a form of superheroes and super fit people. So I think if we could work with them, understand what's in them, we could sort of take those learnings and create nutrition that benefits everyone else.
And what are some of your products?
Yeah, so, we're very much, going on the trends, a microbiome company developing next generation probiotics. We spent a lot of years of research and publications and R&D. Right now, we're actually set to launch our first next-gen probiotic, the world's first athlete-derived probiotic for gut health applications.
Congratulations.
We've been doing testing. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but what we've seen benefits in things, not only just digestion, but also energy, recovery, and even things such as improved quality of sleep. And really, it's changing the paradigm and notion of gut health being more so about holistic health and less about sort of treating disease, but also looking at food and probiotics as medicine themselves and sort of keeping people fit and keeping people healthy. So that's the first product. And then I'll just say the second product in development is a probiotic that eats lactic acid and promotes endurance. And that's something that's in the pipeline as well.
What about, sorry, I lost you there a little bit. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. I was going to ask you another question. Oh, now I know. With the bacteria, what causes, if you can give me a sort of quicker answer, I'm sure there's a very longer answer to this, but what really causes the gut bacteria to go off balance?
Yeah, I would say the major influencing factors are diet. I think sort of exercise or physical activity and sort of environmental exposure / geography. But I'd say essentially diet and sort of, activity are the major driving forces.
And when you say diet, what would someone be doing? What would they be doing? What would they be eating? It's something too much of a bad thing that would throw that off.
Yeah, I mean, I would say,
like what are some of the culprits?
Yeah, I'd say high fiber diets are good. I think if you have high fat, high salt diets, those could be a little bit not so good. I think a lot of vegetables, things of that nature. Also, I think antibiotic use and consumption could dramatically affect your microbiome composition. So I think balanced diets that incorporate, fiber, fermented foods, vegetables, probably a good thing.
Okay, did everyone hear the good doctor? We have to follow your advice so you can have good gut bacteria and stay healthy. Any other words of wisdom you can share, because this is our month of wellness, of what people should be doing in their daily life, to keep healthy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously these are challenging times right now, and I think everyone's doing the best that they can. But I think healthy, balanced diets. I think trying to stay active, trying to stay fit, both physically and mentally. I also think doing research. I think it's an exciting time in biotechnology right now. I think we're changing the world sort of as we speak for good, and using technology as a force for good. So, and I'd also encourage people to go to our website, FitBiomics.com. They're interested in sort of supporting a startup with St. John's roots as we disrupt nutrition, health, and wellness. Check us out and, try out some of our next gen probiotics.
That's great. Thank you for sharing all of this. It sounds fascinating. And we'll definitely be, all the Johnnies, your St. John's family will be certainly rooting for you, and anything that we can do to support you, please, let us know. Any last words to our St. John's family?
St. John's family, I thank you for an amazing 4 years and having me part of that family. I'm excited to be home in New York and hopefully make everyone proud and, do great things back home in New York.
That's great. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks for your time. All the best of luck and success in your company. And I hope when the pandemic hopefully goes away, you can come and talk to our students and encourage and motivate them just like you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Nice meeting you.
Okay.
Take care.